Hello, this is my first video on my journey to learning Japanese. While I have consumed a lot of Japanese content over the years, I never tried to, formally study the language until now. So I'm starting pretty much from scratch. I thought by recording my progress, it will help me stay on track. And it would be nice to look back on this video, 3, 4, 5 years from now and see how much progress I've made. So I'm starting off by first learning hiragana and katakana. From there, I think I'll study kanji as it comes up during my immersion. And by that, I just mean whatever Japanese content I'm consuming or just whatever topics interest me. I'm in no particular rush and I really just want to enjoy the process. I am a believer that the way you should learn a language is whatever makes you motivated to come back day after day. So for my immersion, I plan to mainly focus on 3 things. The first is VTubers, followed by anime, and finally manga. With VTubers, because there's so many of them and there are just hours and hours of content of them just talking unscripted, I feel like it's a good way to hear what Japanese sound like in their day-to-day, without compared to like a TV show or even anime where there is it is being scripted. Here you really get to hear the natural cadence, I guess you could say, of what a Japanese speaker sounds like. On top of that, I can listen to a variety of speakers with all kinds of different, accents or dialects, so I'm not just hearing from one source. Plus, I know it's something I enjoy and won't get tired of even if I listen to hours upon hours of videos. And also, I get to hear them in a variety of situations. Them talking solo, mainly just chatting streams where they're just communicating with the chat and can also just go on long tangents. And I can use that as a way to kind of repeat and really listen in to what they're saying. And if they play the same game, I can see how they pronounce things differently. For example, in Poppy Playtime, one of the first things you have to do is input a color code from a toy train. So it was interesting to hear the different ways each VTuber pronounced the colors, and I even saw some that they would pronounce the colors in English. So it was just really fun to see oh, that's how they pronounce it, or oh, they kind of added this to it.
What? Yellow, green, light blue, blue, gas! なにこれ列車が光ってた。そういえば列車かな。ピンク、緑、ピンク、黄色、赤ってこと？緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。やっぴー。赤、黄色、ピンク。あれ、青だっけ？緑。あ、緑！やったー！
緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。天才。
赤、黄色、ピンク、緑。あ、いいんだ、こてて。たたたたたたたたたたたたたたた。グリーン、ピンク、イエロー、レッド。おいたー
青、ピンク、黄色、赤じゃない？もしかして。青、ピンク、黄色、赤だったりしない？青、ピンク、黄色、赤。関係ない。オーケー。明るさあった？これか。おお、明るい。だいぶ明るくなりましたね。関係ないの？待って、緑じゃね？緑、ピンク、黄色、赤じゃない？緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。オッケー。あ、翻訳してくれてる人がいた。緑、ピンク、黄色、赤。緑、 緑ピンク黄色赤お開いた
So I really wanted to include that last clip for a couple of reasons. So first of all, the VTuber that is speaking, her name is Ao, and Ao means blue. And actually with the first hiragana that I'm going to cover in this video, so a, I, U, E, O, a and o, you put them together and it makes ao. So it's kind of funny that it's featured in here. Also the fact that ao ends up mistaking the first part of the train as ao instead of midori, which is just so funny, especially if you know that in Japan some of the traffic lights are blue instead of green, because historically there was no separate word for blue and green. They both were just called ao. So and the word midori didn't come along until way later. It's just really funny when you see her mistaking blue for green because of how darkly lit it is in there, and just that like historical context just makes it even more funny. So all those little nuances, it's nice when you see a variety of people and you're like, oh, okay, so this is how, you know, the majority of them pronounce it, but this is also like an outlier, or here's a different way you can go about pronouncing it and still be understood. And sometimes knowing that can make you sound more like a native. I don't necessarily want to sound like a native, but I would like to sound natural and not like I don't just sound like a textbook. You know what I'm saying? So I think by watching VTubers, I'll sound a lot more natural. And then when it comes to anime and manga, I plan just to watch/read without any subtitles and just without any translations and see where it goes. And just really soak up the language as best I can. I'm going to try to post every day, at least until the end of the year, so 4 months from now. But you know, life can get in the way, so heavy emphasis on try. So for the remainder of this video, I want to go over the first 5 hiragana I learned and the mnemonics I used to help me remember them. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, let's get started. So like I mentioned before, I'm first going to cover hiragana, and we're just doing 5 vowels for today. Da, 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 da. So the first vowel is a, as in, well, I saw a lot of a lot of videos use an apple as an example to remember like the configuration or the shape of a. But for me, I was trying to remember the sound, and I feel like it gets confusing, even though I know in the like little chart it uses the letter A. It's not exactly the same sound. Like when you think of apple, I think of apple and not like like you think of like what apple instead of I don't know how to explain it, but it's just the sounds like just slightly different, and I felt like it made it confusing. Like the apple was great in terms of like shape, like if you imagine there's another leaf on the other side. So I think an apple was a good imagery to remember the shape, but not necessarily the pronunciation. So what I did, I added opera. So if you heard opera, like and if you kind of want a little funny thing, to help remember, I said an apple named opera, or you could say an opera named apple, whatever works for you. But I like an opera named apple. Or no, do I like apple named opera? Honestly, I don't know which one I like better. But pretty much you just want to have opera and apple together. So opera, because the sound is ah. So opera for the sound, and then apple for what it looks like. So an opera named Apple. I think it's a pretty clever. I like it. So that's our first Next we have. I'm also using this as like a reinforcer because it's been like a few hours since I studied this. So if I'm not super quick on it, please forgive me. So this is E, like Hawaii, only because like in the chart, maybe I'll put it on screen, but it has like it for I, but it sounds more like the E sound in like English. So to kind of make it easy to remember, I was like, oh, Hawaii, because it's like 2 I's. And then that's why I put 2 palm trees to kind of help me remember. So Hawaii, E. So we have as in opera, and then E as in Hawaii. Next vowel is ooh, ooh. I'm going to explain this one. Okay, so the person pictured here is Chanbin, who's from the K-pop group Stray Kids, right? And he has this. There's like a meme of him trying to. He's singing, what is it? What's it called? Wait, I don't want to butcher this. I wrote this in my notes. Give me a second. It was so funny. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, what is it? Oh, listen to my heart to beat to. Listen to my heart to beat to.
Listen to my heart to beat. Listen to my heart to beat.
And you hear heart to beat to So that's the sound you want. Heart to beat to And also the symbol kind of looks like a half heart, like the little half heart pose. So that's why I put Chanbin and then I put him doing the pose. So I remember heart to beat to because when I was looking up like references or like imagery, a lot of people suggested like, oh, imagine you're punching someone in the stomach and they went I don't and I don't know, I guess if that works too for you, but I feel like this is a lot more funnier and it just sticks in my mind. Oh, hata bitu. So yeah, hata bitu. So we have A as in opera, then we have E as in Hawaii, and then as in hata bitu. Okay, so that's 3. The next one. So, okay, this one, if you thought the last one was like a stretch, just get ready. So this is This is So, if you know, you might not know, depending on where you live or what country you grew up in, but there is this, really famous poet known as Edgar Allan Poe, and he wrote this famous poem called The Raven, right? So I was thinking for right? Edgar Allan Poe, Now, even though his poem is called The Raven, this is actually a crow because, watch this. Well, not watch this. Listen to this. Edgar Allan Poe and the Crow. See how that rhymes, right? So I put an image of a crow to kind of remind me of Edgar Allan Poe. I was about to say Edgar Allan Crow. I guess you could say that too. Edgar Allan Crow, if that works for you too. But see how it like flows so nicely? Because if you went Edgar Allan Poe and the Raven, it just doesn't flow as nicely. Or even Edgar Allan Raven, like Edgar Allan Poe or Edgar Allan Crow or Edgar. Oh gosh, I'm a name. The more I say the name, the less real it feels. Edgar Allan Poe and the Crow. So, anyways, as long as it helps you remember, Edgar Allan Poe and the Crow, That was a lot. So, but that's how I got to that image. So, and like I said, obviously for me this helps because I know who Edgar Allan Poe is. If you didn't know, this might not make any sense to you, and to you that's just a random guy you just heard today. But for me, I was like, oh yeah, I know who that is. And then I'm like, oh, the Crow. Yeah. And to me, if you want to just think about Edgar Allan Poe and not the Crow and just imagine it as a raven, because technically that's historically accurate, you can. Whatever floats your boat. But to me, a crow and a raven is like an alligator and a crocodile. Like, sure, there's like differences between the two, but with my vision and enough distance, they look the exact same. So I don't care enough to like really differentiate the two in this case. Also, I almost forgot to mention another reason why I chose the crow is because the shape of the is kind of in the shape of a crow. If you imagine that's like its beak and then its feet and then like its little tail. So it kind of has the shape. A lot of the images I saw use like a ninja. And like I got where they were coming from, but to me the bird kind of makes more sense. So if you imagine the beak and then the tail and then like the feet. So the final vowel is ba-ba-da-ba, O. So UFO. I thought this one was pretty funny. I saw this in this wasn't my idea. I saw this in another video. They're like, oh yeah, O as in UFO. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then they also mentioned that not to confuse the A and the O. know that O has a little like hovering line, whatever you call it, I guess. But yeah, and that's why I had the alien point to the little line. So UFO, O, O. So that's how you can know the difference between A and O. So let's review the vowels again. We have A as in opera, E as in Hawaii, O, wait, sorry, as in heartbeat, E as in Edgar Allan Poe, and then O as in UFO, UFO, O. So I think that was pretty good, right? I feel like that really helps you, soak it in. I guess if you want to, you can just kind of force memorize it. If you like do enough Anki flashcards, you can probably drill it into your head. But I feel like this is a fun way to remember them. So now we're going to go over some words using just those 5 vowels. Cause I was like, oh wow. Once I found out that there's a couple words with just those 5, I was like, oh, let me kind of put those in my repertoire, So first, give me a second, because it's going to take me a second to like remember how to say these. I'm learning along. So if I kind of butcher the pronunciation a little bit, please forgive me. So, okay. Because a little harder when you're just looking at the characters by themselves now. So we have A and then E. I, love, right? I'm going to double check I'll need to change my keyboard. Give me 1 second. So I need to do I. Come on. I. So that's love. So I put a little locket because of like the love locks in Paris and a couple other places, but those bridges where they put like the lockets for your love. You know what I'm talking about, hopefully. And then I put a couple other stuff to kind of signify love. So we have I. Next, we have, give me a second. This means above. As you can see by the little owl flying above and then like seeing someone from a above view. I forget the actual, like a bird's eye view, right? Because you see them from above, which actually really goes along with the characters because, oops, I hit my screen. The second character is the which is for a crow. So bird's eye view, the crow, and then we have an image of an owl. So I feel like this really goes well. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Okay, sorry, I'm just kind of proud of myself about that. Little proud moment. So, okay, so first the vowel is as in heartbeats, heartbeat, and then ue, right? Ue. We're gonna type it. Oh, I need to switch my keyboard again. Oh, what the? Why didn't I do it? Oh no. Wait, give me a second. It did not do what I thought it was gonna do. There we go. Ue. So above. Ue. Next word we have means house or home, I believe. And it is how do you say this? Okay, we have E as in Hawaii and then E again. So ie. Oh, I butchered that. Ie. Okay, ie. So home. And I put in 3 little houses. Very cute. And then our last word means blue, and it is because remember there's no little hovering line for the first one. As in opera, and then O as in UFO. Ow. Maybe not. Okay, let me do O. Ow. It sounds like I'm saying ow. Ow. Okay. Ow. So that's blue. So see, super fun, super easy deasy, lemon peasy. Wait, super easy lemon pleasy. I'm gonna stop. I was trying to. How does it go though? Super easy lemon squeezy. Super easy lemon squeezy. No. Super easy deasy lemon. I don't know. Okay, I forgot. See, this is why if you're learning English from me, you shouldn't. I'm just saying, I stumble all the time over my words. And that is it. Hopefully this video was as helpful for you as it was for me. I really appreciate you just hanging out and studying with me. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.